Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 6, The Killing of the Demon Putana, text number 4. Sa khechari ekada utpatya sa khechari ekadatpo sa khechari ekadotpatya Sakhe charye kadotpatya Putana Nanda Gokulam Putana Nanda Gokulam Yoshitva Mayaya Atmanam Yoshitva Mayayatmanam Pravishat Kamacharini Pravishat Kamacharini Sakhe Charye Kadotpatya Putanananda Gokulam Yoshitva Mayayatmanam Pravishat Kamacharini Putanananda Gokulam Yoshitva Mayayatmanam Pravishat Kamacharini Khecharye Kadotpatya Putanananda Gokulam Yoshitva Mayayatmanam Pravishat Kamacharini Sakhe Charye Kadotpatya Putanananda Gokulam Yoshitva Mayayatmanam Pravishat Kamacharini Sa that Putana Khechari who travelled in outer space Ekada once upon a time Utpatya was flying Putana the demon Putana, Nanda Gokulam, at the place of Nanda Maharaj, Gokula, Yoshitva, converting into a very beautiful woman, Mayaya, by mystic power, Atmanam, herself, Pravishat, entered, Kamacharini, one who could move according to her own desire. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Once upon a time, Putana Rakshasi, who could move according to her desire and was wandering in outer space, converted herself by mystic power into a very beautiful woman and thus entered Gokula, the abode of Nanda Maharaj. Please repeat this translation after me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Please repeat the translation after me. Once upon a time, Putana Rakshasi, who could move according to her desire and was wandering in outer space, converted herself by mystic power into a very beautiful woman and thus entered Gokula, the abode of Nanda Maharaj. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Rakshasis learn mystic powers by which they can travel in outer space without machines. In some parts of India, there are still such mystical witches who can sit on a stick and use it to fly from one place to another in a very short time. This art was known to Putana. Assuming the feature of a very beautiful woman, she entered Nanda Maharaj's abode, Gokula. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Yat kripatamaham vande Paramanandamadhavam Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shukadeva Goswami is narrating Krishna's pastimes. because at the end of the 9th canto, Shukadeva Swami was describing different dynasties. And the purpose of describing those dynasties was to describe the extraordinary personalities who have appeared in those dynasties in history. Purana means historical narration. But it is not merely an historical narration. It is a historical narration of the Supreme Lord's incarnations and even the incarnations of the Supreme Lord's pure devotees. Therefore, this Purana called Bhagavata Purana is very special. That this Purana, why is it called Bhagavata Purana? Because everything in this Purana, this historical narration, is simply describing different histories directly in connection with Bhagavan. Bhagavata means directly connected with Bhagavan. Therefore, this Purana is called Bhagavata Purana. And in the Bhagavata Purana, there are narrations of so many different devotees, pure devotees, and the incarnations of the Supreme Lord. Among all the narrations, the most comprehensive, special, and very wonderful narration is the narration of the history of Krishna's appearance, Krishna's incarnation, Krishna Leela. And this Bhagavata Purana has 12 cantos. Among all the cantos, this 10th canto is the biggest. 90 chapters, 90. So, Shukadeva Goswami is a confidential devotee of Krishna. So, he is particularly describing to Parikshit Maharaj the most confidential narration of Krishna's pastimes. And the topics leading to description of Krishna's pastimes, the various histories, are described in the first 9 cantos. Why? Because these 9 cantos prepare the hearer or the reader for hearing Krishna's pastimes. So what is special about Krishna's pastimes? To understand Krishna's pastimes properly, one should know who is Krishna. Of course, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Lord. But Krishna alone is not described in the Bhagavatam. Krishna's pure devotees, Krishna's incarnations are also described in the Bhagavatam. So many incarnations, so many devotees are all described in the Bhagavatam. But they are described to highlight Krishna's personality. How? They are all Krishna's pure devotees, or they are Krishna's incarnations. This is the another confidential revelation in the Bhagavatam. Because all the Vedic literatures are describing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. But many narrations are indirect descriptions of God. Particularly narrations about the descriptions of this material world are definitely indirect narrations of God. Why? Because this whole material energy of which this whole material world is made, including our material bodies. This material energy is one of the energies of Krishna, which is classified as indirect energy. Material energy is indirect energy. Krishna has got another category of energy called spiritual energy. And that spiritual energy is Krishna's direct potency, direct energy. What's the meaning of direct and indirect energies? Direct energy means Krishna is directly connected with that spiritual energy. That means that spiritual energy can never be separated from Krishna. Can never be separated from Krishna. Even though the material energy is Krishna's own energy, it's his energy, material energy. But it is not directly connected with Krishna. It's got an indirect connection with Krishna. And this is described in the Bhagavad Gita. How does Krishna describe his material energy in the Bhagavad Gita? Bhumirapo nalo vayu khammano buddhirevacha ahankara itiyam me bhinna prakritirashtadha. He says, matter or material energy consists of 8 elements. The 4th verse of the 7th chapter. So he says, these 8 elements are Bhumirapo nalo vayu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankara. So there are 8 elements of which this material energy is constituted. And these are described by Krishna as Me bhinna prakritir ashtadha. These are my 8 separated energies. Bhinna prakriti. And Krishna's internal potency is abhinna. What's the description of Krishna's holy name? Abhinnatvat nama namino. Abhinnatvat. The name of Krishna, the holy name of Krishna, and of course Krishna's personal abode, his pure devotees, his form, transcendental form, his expansions, everything is identical with Krishna 100%. Is directly Krishna himself. Abhinnatvat nama namino. So when we chant Hare Krishna, when we hear the Srimad Bhagavatam, we are directly associating with Krishna through his direct manifestation as his name, Hare Krishna, as his descriptions of his pastimes, the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is abhinnatva. It is non-different from Krishna. Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. So in this Bhagavatam, there is so many different descriptions of Krishna. But the speciality is that these descriptions are directly descriptions of Krishna himself. So even though this chapter describes the killing of demon Putana, the 6th chapter of the 10th canto, this killing is not killing. That's why some chapters it is described deliverance of such and such a demon, liberation of Jarasandha. There is one chapter describing Krishna killing Bhima killing Jarasandha under direction of Krishna. Liberation of Jarasandha. So, those who are killed by Krishna or Krishna's pure devotees, they are actually not killed. They are liberated. They are delivered. So Putana, even though she is a demon, what is the description here? Putana Rakshasi, that's given in the previous verse. Putana Balaghatini. This Putana, who was an associate of Kamsa, another big demon, she was also a demon. Why? Balaghatini, a Rakshasi who killed Shishun, small babies. So she was wandering everywhere. And how was she wandering? Khechari, she was wandering in outer space. Because she had mystic power. She had mystic power. Mayaya. She had mystic power by which she could convert herself into different kinds of forms. And one of the forms she could convert herself is to become invisible. Is to become invisible. So when she's wandering in outer space, she's actually not visible most of the time. But when she wants to become visible, then she converts herself. Mayaya Atmanam Yoshitva. She converted herself to enter Gokula, Nanda Gokulam, Nanda Maharaj's personal abode. Nanda Maharaj's abode called Gokula. She converted herself into a very beautiful woman. So how was it possible? Because Rakshasi means she has got very ghastly features. That is described also in the 2nd verse. Kamsena Prahita Ghora. Ghora means very, very fierce looking, horrible looking form. These Rakshasis, these demonesses, female demons, they have very ghastly looking forms. They are very fierce looking. But in order to disguise herself, she first of all became invisible and she was moving in outer space to travel from one place to another. So Prabhupada describes in the purport, Rakshasis learn mystic powers by which they can travel in outer space without machines. Now we do not know how to travel without machine. But there is a yogic science, Hatha Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. Somebody who practices this Ashtanga Yoga or Hatha Yoga, they can gain this mystic power. What is mystic power? They can gain 20 types of mystic powers. This is described by Srila Prabhupada in another place. In one conversation he describes. These Hatha Yogis, they can master this Hatha Yoga and they can acquire 20 types of mystic powers, out of which 8 are called major mystic powers and 8 more are called minor mystic powers. And there are 4 kinds of auxiliary powers, mystic powers, apart from these 16 major and minor powers. So one of the powers is Kamacharini, one who could move according to her own desire. She simply desires to go from one place to another. She's able to move. And how does she move? Khechari, one who can travel in outer space without the help. Here it is understood as Khechari. Khe means the sky, outer space. So she can travel in outer space simply by her desire. Khechari Kamacharini. She is a very powerful mystic, not ordinary mystic. And not only she would travel like that, but she was also expert in killing small children, infants. Shishu. Shishu means just born infant. She could kill them by using her mystic power. And she came to kill Krishna because Kamsa's life was in danger. And Kamsa had heard from Durga Devi, Yogamaya, who presented herself as Durga Devi in Kamsa's hands. She escaped from Kamsa's hands and told Kamsa, "You foolish rascal, don't trouble your sister. He who is supposed to be your killer is already taken birth somewhere else." Kamsa heard that and became completely terrified. He became completely afraid. And then his association was a demoniac association. So his demoniac ministers advised him, don't take any chance. You arrange to kill all small children who were born in the last few days. Kamsa began to think, how can I kill all these children? Oh, I have got one associate, Putana. She can become invisible. She can travel in outer space. And she's got some tricks by which she can kill even small children. So the description is being given by Shukadeva Swami to Parikshit Maharaj. How Krishna killed this demon. How Krishna delivered this demon, Putana. See, Krishna's purpose of appearance is only one. deliverance of all the conditioned souls. This is the purpose of Krishna's appearance in any incarnation. Even his pure devotees come only for that purpose, to deliver the conditioned souls. But the method of deliverance, that is not possible so easily to deliver by any one method or few methods. No. Why? Because Krishna respects every living entity's free will. So according to the free will of the living entity, to try to be independent of Krishna and try to enjoy independently according to their desire, to be independent of Krishna, Krishna's control, and to be independent enjoyers according to their own desires to enjoy. Krishna arranges this material creation. So primarily this material creation is for satisfying these two fundamental desires of certain living entities who want to be independent of Krishna and who want to enjoy independently according to their own desires. So Krishna has created this whole material world. And for creating this material world, Krishna employs his material energy. And for the sake of creation of this material world, he expands himself as Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, and many other expansions of these Vishnus as incarnations in this material world. But anyway, even though one of the purposes of this material creation, or two of the purposes of material creation, is to give a chance to the living entities to be independent of Krishna and to give them a chance to enjoy independently, still, that is not the primary purpose of this creation. The primary purpose of this creation is to deliver all these foolish living entities who are entangled in this material world and who are stuck up because of their material desires to enjoy independently in this material existence. So the way Krishna delivers the living entities is by his own appearance for the sake of delivering these conditioned souls. And he also causes his pure devotees to appear for the same purpose, to deliver the conditioned souls. And Bhagavatam especially describes how Krishna delivers the conditioned souls through his various types of incarnations, including the pure devotees who are described as Shaktyavesha Avatara, empowered incarnations of Krishna's pure devotees. So, Shukadeva Goswami is also one of the empowered incarnations of Krishna. He has also come for delivering the conditioned souls. But how does he deliver? He delivers by speaking the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavata Purana. Samsarinam karunaya aha Purana guhyam. Out of his causeless mercy, Shukadeva Goswami has spoken. Aha means he has spoken. He has narrated, he has described. Purana Guhyam, the most confidential Purana, the Bhagavata Purana. He spoke that Bhagavata Purana. To whom? To Parikshit Maharaj and other assembled saintly persons about 4,500 years back. He spoke this Bhagavata Purana. So he is describing how Krishna delivered Putana in this chapter. So first of all, who is this Putana? He is describing who is this Putana. She is one of the witch associates of Kamsa. And she has got this mystic power. So Prabhupada says, Rakshasis learn mystic powers. And for what purpose do they learn? Obviously, the purpose is to enjoy independently. But their desire to enjoy is by terrifying other living entities, especially those who are saintly by nature, to terrify them, to kill them, to exploit them, to engage them as their servants. These are all the various activities of the Rakshasas and Rakshasis, the demons and demonesses. So this Putana, Rakshasi, she could fly in outer space and she could convert herself into different forms. So to enter Nandagokula, she came flying in outer space. So Prabhupada describes, even today, in some parts of India, in the Krishna book, Prabhupada describes northwestern part of India, remote northwestern part of India, somewhere like the desert of Rajasthan. Rajasthan is the northwest of India. So in Rajasthan deserts, there are even now some witches who know this art of flying in outer space by simply flying on the branch of an uprooted tree. They simply transfer themselves out from one place to another by just desiring to do so, by using their mystic power of sitting on a twig or a branch of some uprooted tree, and using their mystic power, they transfer themselves to another place. That means they fly on the branch of a tree. There was one associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who was preaching in Orissa. He was not present during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time. He appeared later, say about 150 years after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. So he was a pure devotee of Krishna. So all the time he would engage in Sankirtan. He is in the parampara of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers. So he was preaching in Orissa, and he would tell people, please chant Hare Krishna. So innocent people, simple people, they would directly follow his instruction. They would chant Hare Krishna, they would participate in Sankirtan. But there were some so-called intelligent people. So they would sometimes engage in a discussion with this pure devotee. I forget his name. What was his name? They would discuss with him what's the use of chanting Hare Krishna? So he would explain that chanting Hare Krishna is a practice of pure devotional service, Bhakti Yoga. And Bhakti Yoga is very, very powerful. That you can directly get delivered simply by practicing Bhakti Yoga, of which the easiest and the most practical method of Bhakti Yoga practice is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. So he explained the importance of Bhakti Yoga, the power of Bhakti Yoga. That directly you get delivered. Simply chant. Don't bother about all these other yoga systems which may give you some mystic powers, or which may give you, satisfy your material desires, or which may give you some knowledge, some mystic knowledge. Don't bother yourself with all those things, because even if you acquire some mystic knowledge or some mystic powers or some material desires being fulfilled by other yoga systems, karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, hatha yoga, whatever. But ultimately you have to come to bhakti. And only Bhakti Yoga can actually deliver you from this material existence. So directly take up Bhakti Yoga simply by chanting Hare Krishna. So he would preach like that, but sometimes some people would argue with him. And during these arguments, when the innocent people who were chanting Hare Krishna, sometimes they would develop some doubt whether this Hare Krishna chanting will work. I am chanting Hare Krishna, but whether it will really work? Maybe mystic powers, the yoga which helps us get mystic powers, may be more effective. And when they hear from the scriptures descriptions of such witches who had learned the mystic power, practiced Hatha Yoga and learned the mystic power of flying from one place to another without the help of a machine, and fly or go from one place to another according to their own desire, simply by desiring Kamacharini, Putana. So then they begin to wonder, better I practice Hatha Yoga and get some mystic powers. So one of the simple devotees who was chanting Hare Krishna one day asked this pure devotee of Chaitanya that I've heard that by mystic powers one can travel from one place to another according to one's own desire. And I would like to know if I can practice Hatha Yoga and learn that. Then, because Hatha Yoga ultimately leads to deliverance from material existence. So not only I'll get delivered, but I'll also get some mystic power. So then this devotee explained, these mystic powers are totally useless for deliverance. They are actually byproducts of the practice of Hatha Yoga, or even mystic knowledge, knowledge of the difference between soul and body, or matter and spirit. All this is ultimately useless, because merely having knowledge of difference between spirit and matter, or merely having some mystic powers, is not going to lead to your deliverance. Rather, these things will entangle you more in this material existence. And if at all somebody practices and manages to get these mystic powers or mystic knowledge, then they become more entangled, and ultimately when they want deliverance from this material existence, they want freedom from the cycle of birth and death. They want to get rid of these 4 fundamental miseries, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Doshan, Darshanam. Then first they have to disentangle themselves from the entanglement in these mystic powers and mystic knowledge and all the achievements of different kinds of material opulences. Because all these things are simply entangling you in material existence. They are simply meant for entanglement. Therefore, one of the prayers offered by Nagapatnis to Krishna, when they were praying to Krishna to pardon their husband Kaliya's offenses and not kill him. So the Nagapatnis, they offered wonderful prayers and worshipped Krishna. When Kaliya was subdued by Krishna, so the Nagapatnis all came and offered wonderful prayers. One of the prayers is Nanaka Prishtham Nacha Sarvabhaumam Narasadipatyam Naparameshtyam Nayoga Siddhim Apunarbhavam Va Kangshanti Yat Pada. Something like this. We have heard, the Nagapatnis are praying to Krishna. We have heard from those who have taken shelter of your lotus feet, the dust of your lotus feet, that they don't desire Nanaka Prishtham, they don't desire the kingship of heavenly planets, the post of Indra. Among the different opulences, Bhagavatam classifies, there are 6 major opulences which are results of these practice of these other yoga systems. So by practicing karma yoga, doing lot of pious activities, various pious activities, one will become so pious, one can occupy the post of Indra, the king of heaven. And his powers are, his opulences are described in the subsidiary Vedic literature, in the Dharma Shastras, in the Puranas which are meant for Tamasic people and Rajasic people. Those Puranas they describe. Even the Bhagavatam, there is a small description in the 7th canto. When Hiranyakashipu conquered Indra's planet, and he was ruling from Indra's planet. Hiranyakashipu was not living on the earth after he conquered Indra's position. He was sitting on Indra's throne. And when he was killed by Narasimhadeva, he was actually killed in the heavenly planet, Indra's planet, Indraloka. So, there's a description. What was this kind of enjoyment in the heavenly planets? Brief description, Shukadeva Goswami is given. So, Indra enjoys so much more powers than, and the opulences, the material facilities, than those enjoyed by the people of these 3 worlds. Swarga, Martya, Patala. Human beings who have desire for material enjoyment, they are accommodated in 3 planetary systems. Swargaloka is the heavenly planetary system. Martyaloka is Bhuloka and Bhavarloka. And Patala, the lower planetary systems, there are 7 categories of this Patala Loka. Patala itself is the lowest. What is that? 7 lower planetary systems. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. So all have different kinds of facilities for material enjoyment, of which the highest material enjoyment possible is in Swargaloka. And even among the residents of Swargaloka, who has the maximum opulences and powers to enjoy the facilities in Swargaloka? Indra. So, these pure devotees who have taken the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna, shelter of the dust of lotus feet of Krishna, they have no desire for any kind of material enjoyment, including the position of Indra. They don't even want Indra's powers of enjoyment or Indra's facilities for enjoyment. Nanaka prishtam. Nacha sarvabhaumam. They do not desire to become the emperor of this earth planet. Because earth planet has got various kinds of enjoying facilities. And who enjoys the most? The one who rules the entire earth planet. He's called Sarvabhauma. Formerly, the king who is to rule from Hastinapura, he was the sovereign king of the entire earth planet. Yudhishthira Maharaj is ruling from Hastinapura. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was the emperor of the entire earth planet. Parikshit Maharaj was ruling. He was the emperor of the entire earth planet. So these pure devotees, they don't even desire to become the emperor of the entire earth planet. Na sarvabhaumam, na nakaprishtam, na sarvabhaumam, na rasadipatyam. They don't desire the position of the rulership of these 7 lower planetary systems. Because these 7 lower planetary systems have got different kinds of, they are described in the Bhagavatam 5th canto as Bilaswarga. They are another kind of heavenly planets in the lower planetary systems. So there are, you can read the descriptions in the 5th canto, Bilaswarga. So, these pure devotees don't even desire the position of the sovereignship over the 7 lower planetary systems. They don't even want that. Narasadhipatyam. Na parameshtyam. Parameshti is Brahma. Brahma is the first created living being in the entire universe. And he is the topmost powerful personality in the whole universe. He is the Lord of the Brahmaloka planet. Lord of the Brahmaloka planet. Brahmaloka planet is the topmost planet among all the planets in this entire universe. So they don't even want Brahma's position, na parameshtyam. Then, in this material world, these 4 positions are very, very special positions. But there are personalities, saintly persons, who are expert in mystic powers. They not only have the mystic powers which are possessed by Brahma, Indra, Rasadipati, the ruler of the 7 planetary, lower planetary systems, or even the, what is the fourth one I mentioned? No, Yoga Siddhi, no. Sarvabhauma. The one who possesses rulership over the earth planet. None of these 4 positions, they enjoy all the mystic powers. They have a portion of the mystic powers. So there are Hatha yogis who are practicing this Hatha yoga, who have all the mystic powers that are available through Hatha Yoga practice. As I mentioned, Prabhupada says 20 types of mystic powers. So these pure devotees don't even want na yoga siddhim. They don't want all the mystic powers which are available for expert Hatha yogis who are beyond the jurisdiction of Brahma and the ruler of the earthly planet, the ruler of the heavenly kingdom, the ruler of these 7 lower planetary systems, beyond the jurisdiction. Durvasa Muni was one such, actually, yogi. Durvasa Muni was one such yogi. So the pure devotees don't even want these totality of all the mystic powers. No yoga siddhim. Then what about liberated souls? Apunar bhavamba. They don't even want liberation from this material existence. They don't even want liberation from this material existence. That is even beyond the mystic powers, the possessor of mystic powers, the liberated souls. So then, what is it that they want? If they don't want, after practicing, taking dust, shelter of the dust of lotus feet of Krishna or becoming pure devotees, they simply want opportunity to serve Krishna's lotus feet. Not even Krishna's lotus feet. They want to be servitors of the dust of Krishna's lotus feet. So, when they were praying, these Nagapatnis, because they are pure devotees of Krishna, they themselves are pure devotees. But they are presenting themselves as humble devotees who are not yet achieved perfection. So they are describing, we have heard from great devotees that those who take shelter of the dust of lotus feet of Krishna, they don't desire any of these perfections which are available for practitioners of other yoga systems. They simply want opportunity to serve the dust of your lotus feet. And this is exactly what they were praying for, the Nagapatnis, to Krishna. Please bless this Kaliya with service to your lotus feet. Because he has already got the dust of your lotus feet on his head. We do not know what kind of austerities and pious activities he has performed, because it's not easy to get simply by doing pious activities and austerities. The dust of Krishna's lotus feet is not available except by pure devotional service. So this Kaliya is born in the worst of species as a poisonous serpent, and he has got 101 hoods filled with poison, and is simply become very, very puffed up and proud because of his power as the serpent with 101 hoods filled with poison, most poisonous snake. And he's simply terrifying all saintly people and doing all nonsense. So we don't know how he has got the dust of your lotus feet. But we are praying that even though your dust of your lotus feet can award so many different material opulences and positions, please don't grant him any of those. Please grant him opportunity to serve the dust of your lotus feet. So this is what they are teaching us. Because that is what they desire and that is what they are engaged in, the Nagapatnis. So similarly, here, the description by Shukadeva Goswami is that these demons came to kill Krishna, but nobody can kill Krishna. But somehow, because to kill Krishna, they had to get some association of Krishna. They had to associate with Krishna. So that little association purified them and they were all delivered. That is Shukadeva Goswami's description of Krishna's ways of deliverance. Even the demons, Krishna delivered by simply when they got his brief association, by developing animosity, by developing enmity with Krishna and trying to kill Krishna, trying to defame Krishna, trying to control Krishna, trying to terrify Krishna. But still, because they got very, very, very brief association with Krishna, whatever association they got, they became purified and they were delivered. But that does not mean that they get pure devotional service. That does not mean they get pure devotional. So pure devotional service, merely by getting the dust of Krishna's lotus feet, you cannot get pure devotional service. You need the mercy of the pure devotees who can actually pray to Krishna to grant his pure devotional service to fallen souls like you. Even if you get the dust of Krishna's lotus feet. Krishna's dust of his lotus feet is available in plenty in Vrindavan. Entire Vrindavan dust is only dust of Krishna's lotus feet. That's all. Braj ka raj. Anybody can go to Vrindavan and get the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna. But that doesn't guarantee they're going to get pure devotional service. No. That doesn't. You don't get it by that. Merely getting the dust of lotus feet. You have to take shelter of the pure devotee of Krishna who serves Krishna's lotus feet, dust of Krishna's lotus feet. Only then you can get deliverance. Not deliverance, sorry. Pure devotional service. You can get pure devotional service. I'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.